Hey, what's going on there, guys? Bo here with Top Deck Cards and Games, and today we are cracking open Kaladesh. So, the brand new set for Magic the Gathering, full of artifacts, vehicles, cool things, planeswalkers, and packaging that I can't open. Alright, there we go. Now we're good. We're golden now. Alright, so one of the big things with this set is we have expeditions again, but this time they're not expeditions, they're masterpieces. So they are artifacts that are made to be masterworks of the Kaladesh set, and they have a cool border like the expeditions last time, and they're worth a lot of money like the expeditions last time. So we're looking out for those while we're opening packs here, definitely. So our first rare, Aether Squall Ancients. There's a lot of really cool cards within this set too, like even in the common and uncommon slot, like Cathartic Reunion, the pitch 2 draw 3 card. Like, that card's insane, obviously, for modern already for dredge. Getting to pitch your dredge guys out of your hand and then getting to draw 3 and enabling dredge is insane. Our second rare, Skyship Stalker. No, foil planes. Too bad it's not full art. Oh well, that's probably asking for a lot. We can't have way too many full art land sets. We can only get those once in a while. We can only have fun once in a while. We have Diabolic Tutor as a reprint. Not Demonic Tutor, although, but still pretty cool. Gonti, Lord of Luxury. This guy nabs the top 4 of your opponent's library whenever it enters. You can exile a card face down, and the rest go on the bottom of your opponent's library in any order. You can play that card as long as it remains exiled face down, and you can pay with mana in any such form for it, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we have our first mythic. So, Angel of Invention, 2/1 for 5. Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, Fabricate 2. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. And we have a foil Scrap Heap Scrounger. So this guy is a rare, which is pretty cool. This guy's actually probably not that bad. 3/2 for 2, can't block, 2 mana, 1 and a black. Exile another creature card from your graveyard, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the reason why that's cool is because you have cards like Prized Amalgam within this set. So you can play like a dredge style deck where you put a bunch of stuff into your graveyard, you get your Scrounger back at the end of your opponent's turn or something like that, and you are able to enable all of your amalgams to come back. We have Aetherflux Reservoir, so a lot of janky cool stuff going on in this set. So artifact for 4, whenever you cast a spell, gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Pay 50 life, and it deals 50 damage to target creature or player. So, the race is on-ish, real-ish. Card's really interesting. A lot of people really like that card. While going through and putting stuff into the case, that was like one of the cards that I just needed to put into the case. Not because I think it's going to be like really playable, but because that card's like, a lot of people are just going to buy that card. Just because of like the style of that card. We have Pia Nalar. A lot of people are really enjoying that card as well. Obviously not as good as Pia and Kieran, I think. Because Pia and Kieran makes the 2 dudes for 4, and you're able to pitch them and deal some damage. But making stuff unblockable is pretty cool at the same rate. Smuggler's Copter, another really insane artifact within the set. So 3/3 for 2, flying. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you can draw a card. If you do, discard a card and crew 1. Foil Salivating Gremlins. Not all that impressive. Just a regular old common for us. So far not bad. The Smuggler's Copter, the Angel is really sweet. Those are probably the only cards worthwhile that we've opened that are worth money out of here so far. That'll change. We'll pull more stuff. Animation Module. What does that guy do? Whenever +1/+1 counter would be placed on a permanent you control, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1 servo. 3 tap, choose a counter on a permanent or player. Give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. That's pretty cool. It's like Contagion Clasp from Scars. We have Fumigate, so we do have another board wipe that was printed in the set. Destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. That's not bad. Pretty good, actually. The set has like were some really, really sweet cards. Like Metalwork Colossus, so 10/10 for 11. It costs X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. Sack 2 artifacts, return it from your graveyard to your hand. So that would be like vehicles and stuff like that. I actually played that guy in the pre-release on the Friday one that we had, and that guy was insane. Dynavolt Tower, more artifacts. Artifacts on artifacts. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get 2 energy, which they didn't give us counters for in this set because they messed up. Tap and pay 5 energy, and it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Kambal, Council of Allocation. So 2/3 for 3 whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. We have an emblem. Let's see, it looks like we have a foil out of here, but we do have another mythic. We have Combustible Gearhulk. So 6/6 for 6, first strike, whenever it enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If that player doesn't, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then Combustible Gearhulk deals damage to that player equal to those converted mana costs of those cards in total. That's nuts. And foil Aether Theorist. All the Gearhulks are actually pretty cool. I want to keep the box kind of in range so people don't think that I'm tampering with it. So nobody's like sneaking their hand in and putting packs that are like stacked and resealed or something stupid like that. The internet's crazy. The internet accuses people of lots of things. We have another foil in here. And it almost seemed promising. Ooh, it might be cool. Multiform Wonder, 3/3 for 5 enters, you get 3 energy, pay an energy, and it gains Flying Vigilance or Lifelink, and pay an energy gets +2, -2, or -2, +2 until the end of the turn. Aether Hub, that's actually sweet. Foil Aether Hub. So it's kind of like Tendo Icebridge, but it can definitely be better than Tendo Icebridge. So whenever it enters, you gain a energy, and pay an energy, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So functionally, like the same thing as Tendo Icebridge, but it has the room to be so much better than it. Looks like we have yet another foil in here as well. So Dubious Challenge for 4. It's the worst collected company. I'll explain it in a second. Foil Highspire Artisan. Don't have to explain that one. That one's poop. So the Dubious Challenges, look at the top 10 of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creatures from among them. First, your opponent gets to put 1 into play if they want to, and then you put the rest into play if you want to, and then put the rest back onto the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah, it's worded roughly like that. I gave you the TLDR on it, basically. Midnight Oil. So enters with 7-hour counters on it. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2-hour counters from Midnight Oil. Your maximum hand size is equal to the number of hour counters on Midnight Oil. Whenever you discard a card, lose 1 life. That card's really interesting. The draw 2 per turn is like really cool, actually. Padim, Console of Innovation. This guy's really cool for EDH. 1/4 for 4 artifacts you control have a hexproof. That already is like a clause of text that's pretty good. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest CMC or tied for the highest CMC, draw a card. Inspiring Vantage. There we go. That's the first duel that we've seen. So first quick land for Reddit and Wipes. I'm going to start reading these cards less than just kind of opening them. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Marionette Master. This card's poop. It's really good and limited, but then again, so are like most of these cards. Most, if not all of these cards, like the rares. They're probably like real good. It's usually the case with rares. Bomat Courier. Everybody's losing their poop over that card too. 1/1 for 1 haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. Red, discard your hand, sacrifice Bomat Courier, put all cards exiled with Bomat Courier into their owner's hands. I don't think that card's very good. Irapur Ori. So that's the Hugs card, if you guys are familiar with Feldegriff. Each player may play an additional land on each of his or her turns. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in their hand, that player draws 3 cards. We have Wildest Dreams. Return X cards from your graveyard to your hand and exile it. Double X in green. Ugh. It's a lot. The art looks so elementary on that card. It just looks, I don't know, it looks very underwhelming. I think at least. But that doesn't usually matter. Territorial Gorger. Limited All-Star card. 2/2 for 4 with trample. Whenever you gain 1 or more energy, it gets +2/+2. So that's not like you gain 2 energy in one instance and he gets like +4/+4. It's just he just gets it in instances of it. Paradoxical Outcome. Return any number of non-token permanents you control to their owner's hands. Draw a card for each card returned to your hand in this way for 4 at an instant speed. DePaula, Pilot Exemplar, the Crewmaster, gives your dwarves +1/+1, gives your vehicles +1/+1 as long as they're creatures. Whenever it becomes tapped, you can pay X, and if you do, reveal the top X cards of your library, and you put all dwarfs and vehicles from among them into your hand. The rest onto the bottom of your library in any order. And we have Lost Legacy, so kind of infinite obliteration. Kind of that, kind of extirpate, kind of surgical extraction, kind of a lot of cards. So you name a non-artifact, non-land card, search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles his or her library, then draws a card for each card exiled this way. Which is kind of cool. It's like it's a downside, so you can actually use it on yourself if you want to get rid of stuff, but it's really interesting. Panharmonicon. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, so it doubles stuff up. Or triples it up if you have another one of them. Confiscation Coup. Choose target artifact or creature. You get 4 energy, then you can pay an amount of energy equal to the permanent's CMC. If you do, gain control of it. Spire Bluff Canal. So our blue and red fast land. So the fast lands, they enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So if you're hitting it as land drop 3, you're golden. Land drops 4 and up, not golden. Electrostatic Pummeler. So this guy is, you get 3 energy and you pay 3 energy. And it gets +X until the end of the turn where X is the power. So if you give it a buff off of something else, like a just combat trick or something, and then you give it the +X, it could be insane. Aetherstorm Rock, Limited All-Star. I pulled 2 of those out of one of the pre-releases and ended up winning that pre-release quite easily with the Aetherstorm Rock. 3/3 for 4 flying. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 2 energy. If you do, put a counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. Flyers are like insane in this limited, so as you could imagine, it was pretty easy to win with that. Metallurgic Summonings. Oh god, what a mythic to pull. 5 cost enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, create an XX colorless construct where X is that spell's CMC. 5 mana, exile Metallurgic Summonings. Return all instants and sorceries from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only if you control 6 or more artifacts. Card's actually like broken insane for EDH. Like that's such a fun EDH card. But for constructed, man, is that card underwhelming. It's cool, but not very good. Concealed Courtyard. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands, and taps for white and or black. Or, well, not and or, white or black, excuse me. Alright, almost done with this box. We have just a few packs left. Sahili's Artistry. That's a line of text. It costs 6, don't worry. It doesn't do anything. You get the copy a artifact or create a token that's a copy of target creature except it's an artifact. So you can clone up some stuff. Botanical Sanctum. So the blue and green, fast land, and last pack. Hopefully we get something good out of here. Hopefully a Chandra. I haven't seen very many Chandras out of this set, like almost any. It's like super hard to pull that card. Key to the City. It is not the key to a Chandra, so we're a little bit sad, but that's okay because this box was actually pretty cool. So let's see what's key to do. Discard a card up to one target creature, can't be blocked this turn. Really insane and limited. Whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2 if you do draw a card. That's cool. That card is very cool. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me in cracking open this box of Kaladesh. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new set. I know I'm going to be drafting a whole lot of this set and trying to figure out what's actually good in Standard. Well, hopefully before everybody else does. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like the video, and peace out.